Hello, how are you this morning? How's your business? Welcome to my tutorial for today. I hope you are doing fine. And how is this weather treating you? Okay, get yourself well covered up to avoid being cold. So for today's tutorial, I have the 6 yards of this Ankara print, and I'm going to be making 6 pieces mermaid dress with it. Okay, it's going to is with shoulder, but the shoulder is going to be wide. Okay, all right. So quickly we'll get to the cutting table. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Don't ever forget that. I don't take you for granted. Okay, and if you are new, please subscribe. I'll need that, and also please keep watching my videos. Okay, thank you for your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So quickly we'll get started. So the hip measurement I'm working with is 46 inches divided into 2. First of all is 23. So it means the front will be 23, the back will be 23 to give us 46. Okay, and then again I would want this joining here to correspond with the upper part. Okay, here I want the joining here and the dart up to correspond. All right, so with that said, I'm going to fold my fabric. The lower part should be about 9 inches. Okay, this way I already folded it 9 inches. I'm cutting the lower part first of all. I'm cutting the 4 sides, that is here, and then the front and the back. Okay, then I'll take 20 inches down, that is 2 inches or 3 above the knee. That is the fitting point. 20 inches is what I'll be using for a length of 44 inches. Okay, now the next thing I will do will be to place hip measurement, but then for this very beginning, since we divided our hip into 2, giving us 23 inches, I'll make sure I have at the front 23 inches plus allowance. I hope you get that. Okay, so I'm using 5 inches so that when I open it, it becomes 10 inches. I hope you get that. So that here is 5, here is 5. Okay, and then the center will now be 8. All right, so I'll take 5 inches down to the 20 inches. Okay, and then I'll open this one up. Okay, now at this 2 inches above the knee, this 20 inches here, I will take away half an inch. Okay, and connect it also somewhere. It has to end somewhere, say like this. Okay, I hope you see it ended, it joined somewhere, the half inch. Okay, I will also connect at the lower part. It has to also end somewhere. Okay, okay, I hope you see that. So I'm cutting. So now I've cut this. I'll still fold my fabric again this way, and then turn this one so that this side now becomes the lower part. I'll have to cut this into 4 places. So I now have 4 pieces cut out. Hope you see it. That's for the 2 sides, front and back. Okay, what is remaining now is the center front and the center back. So I'll fold again for center front. Okay, now for the center back is going to be 8 inches after sewing. Okay, so I will take my measurement of 4.5 inches, so that I'll use half an inch to sew this side, half an inch to sew the other side, and then we have 4 inches left. So I'll measure 4.5, 4.5. I'll take it down to the 20 inches as well, which is here. Okay. Okay, I will also take away half an inch here. This is just for fitting. And repeat what we did at the other side. I will join it. It has to end somewhere. And also at the lower part, has to end somewhere. Okay. Then I'll cut. So this is now the center front. So next will be to now cut the center back, which after joining should be equal to 8 inches. Okay, so this is for the center back. I cut it because it was looking this way. Okay, and if I turn it, I don't know. That's why I cut it, but I'll still explain what I did. You understand what I meant? The lower part was looking this way, and I felt it won't be comfortable for viewers. Okay. So I measured 7 inches, that is 3.5. Okay, that's what I measured, 3.5. And also 20 inches this way. This is for the fitting. I will also take away half an inch here. I will join at some point. Also at the lower side. Okay. Okay, so this is the back. So when you open it, it is 7 inches. Okay, remember it is supposed to be 8 inches after joining. You know I'm going to cut another one of this size. Okay, so it means that this is ½ inch for sewing this side. This is 4 inches. Okay, so this here 2.25 inches or 2 inches. Maybe my measurement is not correct here. 2 inches is zip allowance. I hope you get that. I hope you understand this. This is my sewing allowance on this side, ½ inch. This is my 4 inches. Okay, now this one left on this side is my zipper allowance. Okay, if you want to use a smaller zipper allowance, you can use 3 inches, so that when you open it up, it gives you 6 inches. All right, so I'll cut the second one. So now we are done with the cutting of the lower part. What is left will be to shapen the side, to bring out the waist, okay, to differentiate it from the hip. Okay, you see it is straight, so we now want to bring out the waist. Okay, so I've neatly arranged the two sides. Okay, this is one. I'll use this to cut the second one. I hope you see it. And this is the center front. Now I'll be joining this to this by 1/2 inch. So I'm placing it on top of this side by 1/2 inch. That is for joining. So assume now that we have sewn these two together by 1/2 inch. Okay. So now I'll place my waist measurement. The waist is 38. That is 9.5, which is here. Okay, and then I'll use sewing allowance of, let's say, 3 inches. Okay, now 9 inches below is my hip line. This is the hip line here. Okay, on it will be my hip measurement, 11 inches, sewing allowance of 3 inches. I hope you are following. So I'll connect the waist to the hip. Okay, next will be to get to the 20 inches below. Okay, now at this 20 inches, I will choose to go in by 2 inches. Okay, I think I have to use the hip curve now. Okay, I hope you are understanding what we are doing. Okay, and then I'll connect it straight again here. Okay, now I'm going to trim this part off, so you see the shape is now out. You can see the shape now. Okay, we now have the waist and the hip clearly marked out. Okay, so next now will be to cut the other one and put them aside. Okay, because when I cut the other one, we are done with the lower part. We now go to the upper part. So over to the bustier, which I'm sure we have all gotten used to, but for benefit of those who keep joining us, we keep repeating it for them to follow as well. So for the front, half length is 19 inches. 19 good inches. I've taken 20 inches. Shoulder is 16 inches. This is 3 inches for shoulder slope, and on the shoulder 1 inch also for shoulder slope. Okay, and then still on the shoulder, I'll come down by 2.5 inches. Okay, shoulder to bust is 14.5 inches. That is 15 The half an inch will be for the joining at the upper part. Okay. Under bust is 4 inches, upper bust 4 inches. Okay. Next is bust span 8.5. My sewing allowance is 1/4 of an inch, so I'm taking 4.5. If yours is half, you will then take 4.75. I really hope you are seeing this marking. Okay. So I'll now make a slight curve from here. Okay. My neck width is 6 inches. Like I said, it's a wide neck. Neck volume 6.5. Let's try that. If it's not as wide as I want, I'll still adjust. So 6.5, 6. I will cut and notch these 3 points. So we do the side quickly. And as usual, you make sure you have up to 3 inches towards this side. Then you trace. Mark the notch points. Armhole of 8.5 inches. Okay. At the center notch, I'll take 3 inches. The reason I took 3 inches this way as against the normal 2.5 is because the person is busting. Okay, that's why. All right. Next will be to now take the body measurement. That is the bust and the waist. Bust 44, 11. Seam allowance of 2 inches. Waist 38, 9.5. Seam allowance of 2 inches. So I'll cut this out now. Then over to the back. Shoulder is 16 inches. I cut this using the bust measurement. 3 inches for shoulder slope. Also 1 inch for shoulder slope. Armhole 8.5 inches. Bust 11 inches. Allowance of 2 inches. Waist 38, 9.5. Allowance of 3 inches because of that. The neck width for the front was 6.5. No, sorry, 6. If I remember correctly. Neck volume for back I'll use 6.5. Or rather, let me use 7.5. Okay, so we'll now cut. So I'll now go and cut the lining. So I've done the lining of both the lower part. You see it? This is it. And the upper part as well. I also joined them at the shoulder. Okay, if you are new and you are confused, maybe you will need to check my previous video to understand how I lined it. But basically, I lined, you see it, material and material, I joined them together. Lining and lining, I joined them together before I did the normal lining. Okay, before I used the lining to cover the material and sew on the wrong side, then turned it inwards out. Okay, next thing I will do will be to join the lower part to the upper part at the waistline and then close them at the two sides. I will do that both at the front and also at the back. Okay, by that we know that this is done. I will now have just the sleeve to attach and the zipper as well. And this is the basic sleeve. Okay, I have a tutorial on that. Next will be to cut the flay that will attach there. I'll be cutting about 4 layers of peplum. Okay, I'll start attaching, say, from here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4, as far as my material can carry me. Okay, now the round sleeve is 14.5. I will double it because it's going to be a 180 degree. Okay, which means if I cut 360, I'll split it into 2. Okay, so 30 inches. I hope you understand that. 30 inches. I measure 30 here. And then measure the length of my peplum. Okay, 6 inches. 6, 6, 6. Okay, next will be to cut it. Okay, so what I meant was with this like this, I'll split it into 2 this way. Okay, so you have one sleeve. This is, sorry, one peplum. This is another one. Okay, that is 2 layers already. Happy, stop. So I'll have to cut extra 6. Remember I said it's 4 in 1 arm, so I'm going to be cutting 6 more. Okay, that is 3 more that I will split into 2 this way. Right now I have the 8 of them. You see it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'll cut the lining and line all of them. Okay, and then I'll come back for the attachment on the sleeve. So here it is. I've done all the joining. We are just left with the sleeve, and this is a basic sleeve of 15 inches length. That's what I want to use. And then if you look closely, you will see it has markings. Okay, it has markings. From the upper part, I took 6 inches down before I gave the first marking, and then 3.5 inches for the second one, 3 inches for the third, 3 inches for the fourth. Okay, and these are my pieces for the sleeve. Okay, I've also lined and pressed them very, very well. So I will now go ahead to attach these pieces to all of these lines I made here. I will attach first at this lowest part here, and then I'll put the second one here, the third one, and then at the fourth one I had to expand the circumference. Okay, at this one, at the upper part, you know, here is this point is wider than this place. Okay, so I had to expand the circumference of the one I was to attach here so that it can come from here to this place. I hope you get that. So when you do that, you should have something like this. Okay, I hope you see it. All right, so next thing I will do will be to close it up at the side and then attach to the body of our dress, and we are so done. And this is what we have at the end of our tutorial. Okay, thank you very, very much, and please don't stop watching my videos. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section, and if this tutorial has been anywhere helpful to you, please leave us with your thumbs up. Okay, also help us share our videos. Till we meet in my next tutorial, take care of yourself and be nice. Bye.